See, that offense at Texas Tech, they've got an identity. They want to pass it 40, 50, 60 times.
We want to do both. We want to do both. But, again, sometimes the way people are defending you, the other's going to be a heck of a lot easier. And it isn't like when Sam goes back to throw, it's a shot in the dark. He's usually pretty accurate, and our percentages are pretty good. So, again, I'm not sitting here. We want to run it better. But we're going to go wholesale change everything, and now all we're going to do is run the ball? Huh? That's not taking advantage of one of the best players, and that's Sam Bradford.
You guys had a little bit of this identity. I seem to remember in 2003 with Jason as the Heisman-winning quarterback, and didn't really emphasize the run when you didn't have to. And
again,
pass the football
you're missing the point. Sometimes we emphasize it when it's working better, or when someone's defending you and it's more open than other times. Other times, people, are pretty. They're not going to let you run it, so you have to throw it.
Can you see yourself becoming?
It's a problem if you're not throwing it very well.
Right.
I apologize. This is still a bit about the running game. Can you see yourself willingly becoming more one-dimensional, just to get those defenses to, not outnumber you so much there in the box, and then when they change, you can change?
Well, we've done that some. Yeah, there's been some drives that we have done that.
Bob, what about, have you ever been associated with a team from Little League on, midway through the season, you've only kicked one field goal, tried one field goal?
No, I thought of that. I thought of that the other day. It is quite amazing. Although, we have such an issue with our offense, but we have scored touchdowns on 27 of 28 in the red zone. I don't know anyone else in my since Little League to now that's done that either. Right? But we got to get in that eye and run the ball, okay? So, according to you guys.
Since it's time to nitpick after the loss.
Yeah. It's not. They're legitimate questions, but I'm
sure seems like you're about to get a punt blocked.
The one occasion, not nothing else, and that was a breakdown up front, not in the back, not the back guys, but just one of our guys up front.
You like Noel's acting?
He wasn't acting. Got hurt.
Was he a drama major?
Bob, what's on the punts? What's the advantage of having three behind the line of scrimmage there in front of the punter?
Yeah, your front guys up front get to release quicker. They punch and release without having to sink back and catch everybody from the other traditional one that you see. It's really quite common anymore from a lot of teams.
This is the first year you guys have done it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've done both this year.
Right.
Coach, since we're nitpicking, if a running back penetrates the goal line, touchdown. Why wasn't Robinson's interception clearly possession, a touchdown before he hit the ground? He had the ball in his possession.
To complete a catch, you have to. Part of completing the catch is being on the ground and still controlling the football. Whereas the ground, in other words, the ground cannot cause a fumble. So if you fall on the ground and the ball pops out because you hit the ground, it's not a fumble. But to complete a reception, the ground can cause an incompletion. Or it can make an interception not an interception if the ground causes it to pop out. That's why you see when people put their feet in bounds and fall out of bounds, you see the official right on top of them 5 yards out of bounds seeing if he still controlled the football. If you don't control the football through the roll and show it that you have possession of it, it's not a touchdown. Or it's not.
The goal line, the instant.
It's not different. If it's inbounds and you fall on the ground and the ground makes it pop out, it's not a completion or an interception.
But Bob's saying that if you have possession of the ball before you hit the ground, would that not mean that if you hold the ball and then 5 seconds later you hit the ground?
But that wasn't the case. He was falling as he caught the ball.
So he
was
didn't have
rolling.
control of it before he
caught
hit the
it. He had possession, but he was in a roll. He started a roll. You have to complete the roll with the ball.
He didn't have possession before he hit the ground.
Yeah, he had possession of it in the roll, but the roll was part of. You guys don't get. You got to roll and still have the ball.
Bob doesn't understand.
Yeah, I do.
Trying
When a running back penetrates just a little that much as touchdown, what if he fumbles the ball on
Because he already has.
That's because he already had possession of the ball. He already possessed the football and was running with it. Lamont caught the ball but was in a roll, so he hasn't. The possession isn't complete until the roll's over.
I give up.
Grant said right after the game you thought the defense was settling in at the start of the second half, which I guess you could agree with too. So, have you ever had a defense so dramatically affected by the loss of one player on defense?
Yeah, when it's your middle backer, who's one of your better players, and the last couple of games has had about 30 tackles. So that's happened. I'm not at all making that an excuse, but it certainly didn't help and change things to some degree. But again, I also think some of it too is maybe they settled down and they made some nice plays. And again, it isn't like we were playing the Little Sisters of the Poor. They're capable of making plays, and they make a lot of them. So that's part of the game. You're in good shape and you're doing it. The other part, they came back and they made some. So that happens.
Bob, we're down 3 late. You had a 4th and short. It was in your own territory.
4th and 3.
Punted. Was there consideration?
Yeah, there was. I thought about it. There's 6:50 to go. And there have been other times I'm trying, where I've been impatient and went for it. It was a while back. I can't even remember what game it was, and I reminded myself, you give them the short field. There's still almost 7 minutes. Why give it up, so fast? Let's pin them down there, and but if I had to do it over, I probably would go for it. But if I'd have known they were gonna, we have them stopped on that 3rd down again. Colt buys some extra time. He scrambled, and the back was protecting, sneaks out, and he dumps it to him, and they get the 1st down. And then the next play is when they get the long run. So you're almost out of it, and then they made a play. So.
Percentages there of basic football, aren't you? Pin it
Yeah,
down there,
but I don't.
stop.
Me, I don't always play the percentages, But in the end, yeah, I mean it's a call. Most people probably would do that, but again, in hindsight, if I'd have known we weren't going to get them stopped, then I would have went for it. So.
Bob, I know you're a Ray Mancini guy. Are you a Kelly Pavlik?
Absolutely, yeah. Kelly fights this Saturday, and actually a guy I went all through high school with, played ball with, and a real good friend of mine, Jack Lowe, is his trainer. So, we're excited about Kelly Pavlik, the middleweight champ of the world, and got a big fight this week again.
Have you ever showed your team any of his fights?
No, Jack has talked about bringing Kelly out here, so if he comes out here, we will, and introduce him to the team at some point if he can get out here. But Jack has come to a game, but we hadn't had Kelly out here yet.
Bob, the fake punt, now in retrospect, you could give an answer on it, but if you had it to do over again and not knowing what that first result was, would you do it?
Yeah, on the way it looked, and then I felt, initially you kick yourself, you're a football short. But then when I watched it, I got home and watched how clean it was. It's there. We just don't execute. One of our guys just stops instead of continuing to go get the last guy. We're going to have it. And if it didn't look like I'd still be up at night if it didn't look like it did. It looked how I thought it would look, and it's there. So I'm more one of those people. It's my nature to I would really beat myself up had I not called it. And we still lost, and I could have, and if I'd have had the guts to call it, we might have got a possession, been in scoring position, and on their end of the field, and really changed the game. And I'd rather go down swinging than have not called it, and just because of fear you guys might get on me about it.
Bob, you said Nall wasn't much of an actor. How was Colts acting on Saturday?
I'm not going to say that. Here's why. Because and he's running out of bounds, and your momentum's going that way. You're avoiding a hit, but so I'm not saying he did, but I can't. I saw Travis Sunday. He came walking through. He wanted to, he was up there, and I said I can't sit here and yell at you. You know what I mean? Because he pumps, and then his foot's in, and then he just puts his hand on his shoulder. It isn't like he clobbers him. And I'm not complaining about the call. I'm just saying I don't know what to say to the guy.